just looking at kind of what are the top school districts here in the Valley. I mean, as a general statement, I think all across the board we have fantastic school systems.
My name is Perry Dean Ward,
And I'm Aaron Pearson.
and this is Finn.
Well, morning, dude.
Good morning, man. How's it going?
Good.
Early morning today.
It is an early morning. It's all right. Early mornings are good for us, right?
That's right.
So, how's your last week been, bud?
It's been pretty good. Yeah, it's been a busy week. Took a listing. Helped some older folks out in Tooele.
Nice.
Yeah, helped them find a house, and we're listing their house this week as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's gonna be going good.
Those are good, buddy. Way good.
Headphones on.
Yeah, so you can hear me.
Yeah,
Like you can't hear me.
yeah, I could hear you. Pretty good week though. I think we've also had a number of other buyers. One of our new agents actually wrote their first offer 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Good to hear how that comes together the next day or two.
You know, I forgot to tell you this, dude. So, Tanner's on our team was doing some cold calling to FSBOs and whatnot. And
For sale by owners.
yeah, for sale by owners, sorry. Anyways, he was talking with a guy that owns a building downtown that happens to be the Church and State building that I get my hair cut in.
Uh-huh.
So yesterday I'm there getting my hair cut, and by the way, got the beard kind of knocked down just a little bit.
Looks good. Can't get mad at me when I cut mine off a little.
You sucker. It's all your fault.
Yep.
It's like lunch the other day. Yeah,
Salad.
we literally go to Whiskey Street to meet with a gal that we're putting on our team, and I'm of course scoping out the French dip yummy sirloin sandwich. Got my mouth watering. He orders a salad, so of course I'm going, what am I doing? Some bitch, I got to order a salad now.
You know what? We both got a little work to do.
We do. Hey, dude, I've been working on it, man.
You are. You're doing good.
4 miles a day.
Doing good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So, anyways, what was I talking about?
Getting the salad, but we're talking about Church and State, the building downtown.
Oh, so anyways, I'm there getting my hair cut yesterday, and this dude shows up that Tanner was chatting with.
Oh.
So I let him know who I was, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Well, let's have a chat." And so he gave me his number, and
Sweet.
yeah. So
Great. That's great.
So welcome to Beards on the Street. Early morning, and we just got a lot going on today. I've got a client I've got to meet on a commercial building that we went under contract this week, fourplex down in Provo. So
Wow, that's going to be great.
yeah, it's going to be really good, and I really like this guy. He's from Cali and moving up here, and pretty much, you know, my understanding is he wants to shut everything down there and move his money up here. He loves, of course, up in the Heber, you know, Midway area. Loves that. So
I think we're seeing a lot of that, aren't we? A lot of the people folding it up and relocating out of Cali with all the tax problems, all the change that's going on there.
I was going to say, dude, can you freaking blame him?
There's a
I mean, it's a great place to go on vacation, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of corporate restructuring, people putting home base here.
Oh yeah.
All of it to get around or get away from that taxation that's going on.
Well, and I mean, not to mention, it's you know, while we're on the subject, especially commercial stuff, I mean, dude, some of these major, massive companies where you were so tied to that corporate office because you had to be in that office every day, you know, the world's changing. That's not the scenario anymore, and so many people now are working remotely.
Yeah, COVID kind of taught us that, didn't they?
It did.
You can work anywhere, and if that's true, where do you want to work? And a lot
Exactly.
of people are coming to Utah.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful state, and I mean, what, five national parks, Just, I
Some
mean,
of the best snow on earth.
best snow on earth, not some.
The and Four Seasons. So you get the same mountains and slopes and ski lifts, but during the summertime, it's some of the best downhill. So you take your bikes and you actually load them onto the ski lift,
The gondola or whatever.
Yeah, and they take you to the top, and they have downhill tracks. I mean, Deer Valley has some of the most amazing downhill tracks. I mean, like professional level, tabletops, double whoops, those kind of. I mean, major.
I can do that.
When I went with a bunch of buddies, and they're all ex-motocross guys, and they kind of dragged me along with them, and friends in the real estate biz. But they were going down, and I had some 16-year-old putt-putt up behind me, and he's like, "Sir," he's like, "Have you done this before?"
He's totally concerned for you.
Yeah. And he's like, "Tell you what, here goes." He goes. So first off, he lowers my seat because I'm going over I'm as slow as I could go over the bumps. The seat was still popping me,
Right.
almost popping me over the handlebars. And so he's watching me.
And you're kind of a big dude. It
Yeah.
wouldn't take much to tea kettle you, dude.
Anyways, he comes up behind me, he helps lower my seat, and then he goes, "Hey, why don't you follow me?" And he takes me off to the side. We go kind of traverse across the mountain over to a beginner slope. So over to a beginner's run.
He's like, follow me while I save your life.
Yeah, it was. So I'm off riding the rest of the night by myself. But these guys, I mean, they're hitting them. They're putting their bikes up to the side. I mean, they know what they're doing. And I was just doing everything I could to keep up with them. It was fun though.
Dude, I saw a TikTok video yesterday. It shows this dude on a motorcycle on some sand hills. I don't know where it was, but I mean, just hauling. And he jumps, and you're just thinking this guy is going to die. He's so high in the air and flying so far, and all of a sudden a parachute comes out, and when he releases from the bike, a parachute comes out for the bike.
Oh my gosh!
Balls.
Right off a cliff, huh?
It was
a cliff. Had
it
to be something like that.
Well, it was just, you know how you see them jumping on the sand dunes down there, and I mean they can fly a long ways.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was going so fast and just hit it, and you're
Dang.
thinking, okay, this guy's going to crash and burn.
Dang.
There's no way you can live through that, and then parachute.
Crazy.
Man, people find the craziest and coolest stuff to go and do, don't they?
I do.
Insane.
Always looking for the adrenaline.
Well, back in the day, I'm a little
Like that.
I'm a little
ever.
more ever.
Ever. I'd watch. You know?
I did participate in some shenanigans back in the day.
Oh man.
But man, it just hurts too bad now.
Yep.
It takes too long to
It
recover.
hurts just watching it.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we were talking the other day, you and me, about about boxing from the UFC fight.
Uh-huh.
That was something else.
Yeah.
My kids were there, and I kept calling them and dude. But anyways, you and I were talking about. I think it was you asked me, have you ever boxed? Yeah, and it takes like 20 seconds and you're spent.
Yes. Yes. That adrenaline. Just the.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are in such great shape. I mean, I really don't know.
I'm the guy. I'd box with my cousin. My uncles all had gloves.
Yeah.
And my cousin's right-handed, and to get me to box him, he's like, "Here, I'll tie my right hand behind me."
And then just beat on you?
And he'd beat the hell out of me with his left hand. Till I caught him one time with a hit. He's like, "It's it."
Is that Brandon?
Yeah, no more. We're done.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's so funny.
Yeah, he'd spank me with one arm, his left arm.
I can't even imagine you two as kids. That would be so funny.
It was just younger versions. He's tall, lanky, and I was, a little chubber. That was fun.
Well, that's nice. Brandon beating on his fat little cousin.
Yep. That's right.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's crazy. Well, let's maybe switch gears here and talk a little bit about some real estate topics.
Awesome.
What you got?
One of the ideas, obviously, we're talking about our local market here. And we're obviously it's the time of year. We're in August now. Kids are just going back to school and going back to school later in a couple areas. But just looking at kind of what are the top school districts here in the valley. I mean, as a general statement, I think all across the board we have fantastic school systems. I mean, pick a school district, and it ranks. I mean, it ranks nationally here locally. But there are some that are better than others.
Right.
Yeah, so it's super important to some folks. I think as a general statement, you come to Utah, you're going to get a good education,
Yeah, no matter where you live.
no matter where you live.
And I tell clients that all the time. You know, our school system compared to others, and I wouldn't call myself educated, but the schools here are good schools.
Absolutely. I would say there's not major variation across the board, but we do have a list of how it kind of lines out. Number one, if we're looking at, and this is, Salt Lake, all the different local metropolitan areas, but we have number one would be the Canyon School District.
Okay.
Okay, and the Canyon School District, it's basically it's number 10 out of 51.
You mean nationwide?
No, it's going to be local. Percent of schools in the top 5 statewide.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 20% of the schools in. The
And
school
for
system.
everybody out there, and me included, where's the canyons? What does that include?
Basically, it's the eastern bench,
Okay.
southeastern bench essentially. So
So,
Sandy, Draper,
Yep.
and some of those little areas that are right there. So it's southeast bench of the valley. Our Salt Lake, and the Salt Lake County it's a big bowl. It's surrounded by big Wasatch Mountains on the east, and the Ochre Mountains on the west. And then you have 2 points at the end. You have your Great Salt Lake at one end, and then you have Utah County, and it's a whole mountain system that we kind of live down the front of. That's a good description. But
It is.
anyway, so
Hence Wasatch Front.
and then the Canyon School District it's a relatively new district. It kind of peeled off from the Granite School District, and it's that southeast
Yep.
corner of our valley.
Man, I'll tell you right now, Aaron, and I don't even know the name of it. What's the school out there in Draper? The high school.
Corner Canyon.
Corner Canyon. So that's literally a couple blocks from where I live. And
So you can probably hear it at night when
I can, the games and all that, but I'd never actually driven by it. And the other day, I don't know why I ended up on the road, but I did, and drove past it, and that place is impressive. Like, it looks like a college campus.
Well, you know what? It's
At first, I was like, what the heck is this?
my son's in the football program locally.
Okay.
In the high school level, he's a senior. But
Beat diggers?
no, he's a minor. Being
Minor.
Being a minor. But he was listening to some of the families, and we actually lived in Draper for a long time. He was raised in that school system and the Canyon School District. But Corner Canyon has one of the most. I mean, they've built such a football program, and obviously other athletics. But I'm keyed in obviously to football. But
Right. 'Tis the season.
their lights and their access to their facilities, it's like 6 a.m. to 10 o'clock at night, the lights are on. They've got something going on. It's almost like a little combine. They've got access to the weight room. I mean,
Like,
anyways,
it's a program.
it's a program. And kind of most specifically what the draw is to Corner Canyon is it's a passing program. So
Receivers.
They're pulling some of the absolute best quarterbacks. It's open enrollment as well, so they're drawing from all over the place.
So that really is a thing. You can do
Yes,
that. Wow.
And anyways, so they've got a major passing program. Bingham, however, is a running program. So it's kind of it's an interesting thing. If a good quarterback's with Bingham, they're taking a real look at going to Corner Canyon because it's the likelihood of having opportunity to pass and develop as a passer. So I actually have a nephew who's, I think he's 12 or 13, I apologize, 14, and he's in that stage where the next year or so he's actually going to make a move and going to go play at Corner Canyon because the kid can toss.
Man, that's awesome.
So
back in the day when I was a kid, you know, growing up in little tiny Malad, Idaho, I moved to the deep south, to Georgia, to live with my dad. And we all know how football is down. Yeah, well, no, isn't that Tennessee?
Oh, okay.
So the deep south is, I mean, they take football. Football is everything. Like I mean, you're talking Alabama and Georgia, and I mean, their football down there is serious. And on a high school level, it was so far advanced. Now, granted, I grew up in Malad, which we're lucky we had gear.
Yeah.
But down there, I mean, it was major. I mean, major. I can't even explain to you the whole entire program. They provided you with everything. I'm talking down to cleats, jocks, socks. I mean,
Dang.
you didn't take anything home and wash it. It was all done on campus,
Dang.
like literally every day.
Dang.
And you'd show up and your stuff would be sitting right there. And I mean, and I could go on and on and on. It was,
That'd be a fun program.
yeah, it was, they are well funded and can do a lot of stuff that up here it's just not the norm. So I found it really interesting down there. I was like, holy cow. I mean, even little me at the bottom of the totem pole, still 100% everything's handled.
That's awesome.
So pretty impressive how they do it down.
It's getting there. My son got issued cleats, gloves. I mean,
Good.
Yeah, they're all Adidas, so they're not allowed to wear anything but Adidas.
Yep.
So they're obviously
Adidas sponsor.
sponsored.
Yep. Hey, I think it's awesome for these kids, man, especially the kids that their families just flat out can't afford it.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
It was expensive, but you offset that with the not have to buy cleats. It was a little better.
right,
So
right. Well, it can get expensive. So canyons, number one. What's the next one?
number 2 is the Salt Lake School District, and
So that's everything downtown.
yeah. So Salt Lake School District. Guess it'd be good to have a good map, but it's all downtown. But Granite obviously comes into that as well. Some of these blend into each other, but Salt Lake School District is going to be more inner.
So like Olympus, would they be?
Olympus?
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
believe Olympus is Granite.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. We should pull up and kind of scope out and know more about where these are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 3, check that out, dude.
Cache School District. So that's Cache Valley is up in
Logan.
Logan, yeah.
That's my old stomping grounds.
That actually doesn't surprise me. I know they have a major. They teach commercial. Teach you to be a professional farmer up there.
Yeah, they do.
So they have. I mean, they have.
It's all big time agriculture.
Agricultural school. So it's a.
But they also have a big thing with what do you call it, with the plants and I don't know if it would be botany but I mean
Arborism?
Maybe
Something like
but
we said.
I don't know, but I know that they are huge in agriculture.
And then here we are. We talked about Granite. Granite's here high on the list. So Granite or Cottonwood School, Eastwood School. These are high on the marks. Oak Ridge.
Does it say in there what the number one school in the whole state is? The number one high school?
Let's see. Yeah, Sunrise School, but that's not a high school. Peruvian. These are all elementary level. Is where I'm.
That's what you're talking. Okay,
got
it.
I'm talking
got
about
it.
elementary level. So,
Makes sense. I mean, that's,
obviously it's going to trickle up to the top, but
Right.
they're referencing elementary. So Granite, and then
my kids all went to Sarah Jane Adams Elementary up in Layton.
okay.
Yeah, on the east side of Layton.
Then it leads us into the Alpine School District, which is obviously northern Utah County, along that bench over there.
Yeah,
And then we have Davis School District. So
big Davis School District.
that rounds it out.
That's what my kids were in, was the Davis.
For someone to go in and actually check school ratings, what are any ideas, some tools to be able to? I mean, obviously we got the Google, which which is a good, safe place to go.
Probably the best place to go, and just I think there are. Doesn't the board have some information on their website about school districts? I think they do. I think I've seen it before.
A lot of what they teach us to do is, obviously we have to stay out of personal opinion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules around us steering and redlining, meaning directing people towards or around certain areas. And so a lot of what's important as a consumer is to spend some time doing your own research.
Yeah.
We obviously, this is pretty simple to find what we did. Just Googled it and looked for some, the top ranked school districts in Salt Lake or the Utah. And
when the episode comes out, we'll make sure that we put a link to this information that we've got.
But just spending the time, I mean, it's like, it's like crime rates, things like that. There's ways that you can go on and protect yourself as a consumer to be able to direct your own efforts to the areas you want to be in. Schooling's important, I think, as a general statement. Anywhere in the valley or anywhere in our general marketplace, schools are going to be at a high mark and a good, kids are going to get a great education. But there are some that are better than others, and there are some that are better funded than others, which I think plays a role in having the right tools and systems, and the teachers having the support and things they need to be able to.
Man, that's it
properly
right
educate.
there, dude. I know that recently in the news there's been a lot of stuff going on about the teacher shortage that's happening, and it doesn't surprise me even a little tiny bit. It just makes you wonder when are the powers to be going to get their shit together and realize how important it is to pay these teachers. And I came from the system. My stepdad was an art teacher in Malad, and I think his salary back in the day was in the 20s, dude, like 24, 27,000 maybe.
Well, I know a lot of times they're not.
It's ridiculous.
They're not funded and provided enough to have the ample supplies for classrooms. As a general statement, they need help. So there's a lot of times.
Teachers are saints, bro. I mean,
being able to have the tools that they need, pencils and things, that paper inside the rooms, things like that, to be able to actually do their jobs. A lot of it's paid for out of their own pocket.
I know. A lot of them do. It's just, I know it's a big can of worms to open, but man, it's something that so needs to be addressed by our legislators and the people in the power, with the power to fix it. I mean, it's just, it seriously pisses me off. Mm-hmm. These are the people that are taking our young people, and
during the school year, our kids are with them more than they're with us.
Exactly. And they're the ones that are molding them and making them good human beings. Mm-hmm. And, they're saints, because they give and give and give and give. And quite frankly, the amount of money that they're being paid, they could easily, especially with the educations that they have, they could easily go get a job somewhere else, Amazon, somewhere like that, and have probably better benefits, more pay, better lifestyle, but they're dedicated people. So, any of you teachers out there watching this, man, I'm telling you, my hat's off to you. You're amazing people, and thank you.
Thank you.
So, well, Aaron, I got a busy day, so I got to roll, dude.
Okay, man. It was good getting on here with you.
Yeah, it was you too, man. I sure appreciate it. And until our next episode, have a fantastic week.